advertising or call us 01483 485 265. Advertise on Radio Woking. It's a no-brainer.
Radio Woking.
This is Radio Woking, and what lovely voices those ladies there have. They are the Three Bells. I believe they come from Portsmouth, and they were up here to do something, and someone thought, what a good idea to get them to do some jingles, and they did get them to do some jingles. And I think they do sort of like an Andrews Sisters tribute type of thing. I'm pretty sure it's that type of thing, certainly 1940s. Anyway, this is the type of evening where we say hello to all of our Facebook listeners. It's like when you're watching football, isn't it? And they say, this is where we get joined by our friends from BBC World. There's 10 minutes of the game left. It's 5-2. It's been a fantastic game. 3 controversial penalties, a sending off that should never have been. And the last 10 minutes is dull. But welcome to the people from BBC World Service. It always gets me when they do that. You know, you think, well, if they're listening all around the world, why don't they get them in from the beginning? Anyway, we have another track for you. It's from someone who I played the other week, Tim Bennett. He's an old mate of mine from the music. He emigrated to America a few years ago. He got a plot of land up in the mountains and just ripped out the trees and what have you and built himself a home. He had nothing up there, and it seems to be all going great for him. But this is a fantastic track. I'll try and see when he made this album, but he did it through Celeband. The album's called Miseducated, and the track that I have chosen is Blue Sunrise. At least it would be if I pressed the right button. That is nothing like Tim Bennett.
Brother, do you feel alright and do you feel okay? I hear your voice strained across the airwaves. You made a reservation with your past. You turn a pale face, watch your life crash. But the magic's here after all. And the feeling is
Tim Bennett and Blue Sunrise. You're listening to Radio Woking. My guest is Keith Bayley. He's going to be playing in a few moments. We'll have a little bit of a chat. But before I do, I must tell you about something that's happening in Woking Town Centre on Saturday. Johnny Mason, and if you've never seen Johnny Mason live, he is well worth a visit, I'll tell you. But his son, Jack Mason, is going to be busking at the bandstand in aid of Woking Hospice. He's going to be doing 2 hours there on Saturday from 1 o'clock. Now, Luke's been a guest on my show a few years ago. He's absolutely tremendous. I've also seen him live. He is well worth a visit. So if you are shopping in Woking Town Centre or you're rounded about in the Woking Town Centre, pop along to the old bandstand and give him a bit of support. But more importantly, give him a few pounds for Woking Hospice. Great cause there. Now, you did a charity gig earlier on in the year, didn't you?
I really did, Keith. I played one winter's night at the Yvonne Arnaud Theatre in Guildford in January. That was a fantastic experience, organised by the one and very only Surrey's own Gavin Thomas, who worked manfully to put on an amazing show. There was a lot of great talent on that stage. I tell you, there were some amazing young people. Incredible to see some of that talent. I was privileged to be there. I played 3 songs. I had a wonderful day because it's a whole day. You know, you're there all day preparing. 500, 600 odd people in the audience, very warm and receptive, and it was just a memorable evening. Really enjoyed it.
You know, I've never been in the Yvonne Arnaud Theatre.
It's a tremendous place.
I see the plays, you know, and I think I must get down there and go and see a play. Like, they seem to have these thrillers and things like that on, you know, and whodunits.
Okay.
Maybe it's just the way my mind works, and they aren't actually that type of play. But I seem to think, oh, that must be a detective type thing, you know. But Gavin, of course, is very big on the local music scene, especially over in the Guildford area. He does a lot of open mic nights. And it's now becoming a tradition, the one winter's night, and I think he does one summer's day as well.
Well, I'm actually playing at one. I'm delighted to say I'll be playing at one in the middle, and it's in May the 13th, and it's in the spring, and it's called One Spring Afternoon. You can see there's a bit of a theme. He's developing a theme. We've got the winter's night, the One Spring Afternoon, May the 13th, and he's got the One Summer's Day as well. So he's building an empire, shall we say?
Yeah. What? No stopping the man. No stopping. But who else would you rather have in charge? I mean, he's a lovely fella.
He's a legend.
But unfortunately, he does something on a Thursday night, so I never ever get him on the show. But,
I'd love him here because he played harmonica on one of the songs I'm going to do tonight, and obviously it's going to feel a little bit empty without him. If you're listening, Gavin, which he won't be because he'll be playing live, but I'll be missing your harmonica.
I'll
be playing it in my head.
That's it. He may have the Radio Woking app, so as he can listen there. But you're going to play us a song now, and of course you've got one. Tell us about this guitar that you've got here.
I absolutely will. This is a lap steel guitar. That's the sort of the catch-all phrase for it. It's based on an American Weissenborn, which is a guitar that was made in the 90s and 1930s, and are still made today. This is a replica of that because they really do cost a lot of money, far more than a man like myself can afford. But this is a very decent replica. You play it on your lap. A couple of things about it. You know, when I walk into a venue, if people haven't seen one before, they're often get a lot of questions, like walking in with a dinosaur, you know, because it's a little bit unusual. The action is very high, so you can get that nice ringy tone, and the neck is completely hollow as well, so you get the sort of the chamber of air runs through it, which hopefully gives it a nice rich tone. So lap steel.
Lap steel.
Yeah.
Right, what's the first song you're going to do for us?
This is a song. It's off my little album, which I recorded at the back end of last year, called Rivers and Rain, if I can give it a plug, is that all right? Yeah, give it a plug. Rivers and Rain, available on all the normal digital platforms. Sounds very odd for a man of my age to be saying that. But Rivers and Rain, and this is a track off that. This song is called Devil's Lake, and the story behind it's all about an era of music that I love very much, which is that kind of late 60s, early 70s, what I call like the troubadour era, when you had all these incredible musicians all sort of living together and writing songs together on the west coast of America, playing at the Troubadour in Los Angeles, living in Laurel Canyon. And I read a short story about that, and it was about two musicians, and it's their sort of story, and that inspired this song. It's called Devil's Lake. We sat and drank wine by a red neon sign that shone in the shape of a flame. Said she saw something wise buried deep in my eyes. She couldn't remember my name. She'd stared at the trains in Dakota, empty with nowhere to go. She'd burn out of days in a Mary Jane haze till the sun gave it up and sang low. I've seen men come and go with their stories. They leave when they've got what they need, bury their shame with a made-up name, and go back to the lives that they lead. I don't know what brought us together. I don't know what made us break. I believe we go on forever down on Devil's Lake. When you're leaving the city of angels, you can drive to the south or the north. The stars lit the way to the Golden Gate Bay, and we stopped at the Fisherman's Wharf. All the waiters were out of the movies, drinking gin with a lemon and lime. We walked through the dark in Balboa Park. We made love in room 289. Don't ask me when I fell in love with her. Don't ask me, I really don't know. The buskers would sing, we were skin against skin, lost in the heart and the soul. I don't know what brought us together. I don't know what made us break. I believe we go on forever down on Devil's Lake. It was early one morning in autumn. I came down to make up the flame, and all that she wrote was a handwritten note I read to the sound of the rain. She said, please don't you follow. Please don't ever ask why. Don't stand and throw stones at the house we called home. And please don't you cry. Now's the time for my leaving, before it goes sad and goes wrong. Hold on tight, what was true and was right. Write me the saddest of songs. I don't know what brought us together. I don't know what made us break. I believe we go on forever down on Devil's Lake. I believe we go on forever down on Devil's Lake. I believe we go on forever down on Devil's Lake.
Absolutely fantastic. That's the first song from my guest in the studio, Keith Bayley. And we just had some people pointing out that we can't hear the guitar, so we're going to have to do something about that. I don't know what.
Move the mic down. Is probably
Move the mic down. That's probably a good idea.
Probably
So
a good
thank you
shout.
very much for Nick for pointing that out. You see, he's my technical advisor on the
fair
outside. But I was getting a bit concerned about that because I could see on the levels. But we will sort that out. Ooh. Yeah, me and technical things, yeah. We've got no chance. But we will sort that out for the next number. That's a very good idea. Move the mic nearer. You see? Yeah. Now, I wouldn't have thought of that. My thought was that you sang a bit quieter.
Oh, I could try that. I could try that.
See what it is, having brains and technical ability. But that was absolutely fantastic, that song. And as you were saying that you've been on the Surrey music scene for a few years now, and you've made some great friends around here, and one of them is Graham Firth from the True Deceivers. Of course, has been involved in the music scene for many, many years, and was running the Three Lions down in Farncombe, Scratchers, and has moved on now, but he's still playing his music. He's got his old band Plenty back. I think that was the first time that I met Graham, was when he was playing with Plenty, and I've picked a song that he wrote for the True Deceivers for tonight, and it's a tong. It helps if you can talk properly as well. It's a song called Big Sky.
Standing here, I'm contented. I'm happy with what I see. I'm alone, but contented. The big sky over me. I've never seen such a view before. I've never felt so free. Never knew what I'd missed before. The big sky over me. We're under a big sky. We're under a big sky. Living under a big sky. We're under a big sky. We're under a big sky. Living under a big sky. Climbed so far to be where I am. I've climbed so far to see the full moonlight up the valley, the big sky over me. Never seen so many stars before. They're here to oversee the world that lies here before my eyes. The big sky over me. We're under a big sky. We're under a big sky. Living under a big sky. We're under a big sky. We're under a big sky. Living under a big sky. Sky, living under a big sky.
Well, I'm glad they have that little stop at the end there. It made me realise that it was coming to the end of the song. And it just sort of like suddenly stopped, which it does at the end, doesn't it? It's like traditional. I know I'm a bit of a maverick, but really, things, when they come to the end, should stop. That's the end of it, really. You're listening to Keith Woodhouse. My guest in the studio is Keith Bayley. He has just given us one song. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a problem with the sound on the steel guitar, but we won't talk about it. So we have solved it by using another guitar. So that's going to be no problem at all. But how long have you been in the Surrey area then?
Well, I sort of feel I've been adopted by Surrey as like my musical homeland. I mean, I grew up in Sussex. Moved to Hertfordshire, up near Watford, a good few years ago. And I've been playing in bands and studios as a sort of sideman, really, Keith, for many, many hundreds of years. And I've got into solo playing again quite late in life, last sort of 4 or 5 years, writing a lot of songs. And through various people and machinations, I got to know a good few people down here. The wonderful Graham, True Deceivers, who I love, you just played, was one of them and was really instrumental in me becoming part of this. I played a fair few times at the Three Lions in Farncombe. And I had a wonderful day last year where I played the Meadrow Festival at that venue. And I met a lot of great musicians that day. That's the day I met Gavin, I met Jim Cousins, reconnected with Gareth Howells. It was a sort of packed venue full of Surrey musical celebrities. And really, over this last year, 18 months, I've been fortunate to be playing sort of on that scene. I do a lot of Gavin's sort of live sessions. I've been playing at the King's Head and the Britannia, various other venues, and I'm really blessed. It's an astonishing scene, just packed with talent and nice people that want to listen to other people play. That's why I love it so much.
Yeah, it is nice, and I notice now that the big houses are putting on gigs. The sort of like big stately homes, they're having them in the gardens and things like that. And I was watching a programme the other night on the National Trust. And they were talking about the terrible fire that they had up at Clarendon House. It destroyed the place completely, absolutely gone. It's just the outside walls is standing. I don't know if you remember that. But no, you see, we watched this programme on the National Trust, and they were saying it's the first time it's ever happened in a National Trust property. First time actual National Trust property being completely destroyed. And the woman was saying they've got a pecking order of what they have to get out. They've got a list of the most valuable things, right? If a fire happens, right, they have all volunteers, right, who go into this burning building and grab stuff, right? But they don't just grab anything; they grab what they're told to grab, right? So now I'm not a historian. I'm not charged with looking after the nation's treasures or anything like that. But if it was down to me, I'll put all the valuable bits round the front door. Right? So if there's a fire, you can just nip in, grab them when you're out, right? Can you imagine it, right? You're there, the place is burning down, and you go and get that Botticelli. And you go leaping in there through the flames, you grab it off the wall, you come back out and they go, that's a Tintoretto, not a Botticelli, put it back. So you have to go back into the burning building, put that back and grab the other one. And out you come again, you see. So it makes sense, right, to put them all round by the door. Yeah. Now, they may pick up on this and put all the valuable bits and the bits worth saving all round by the front door. So, when you go to visit, right, instead of paying the £14.50, whatever it is, to get in, because the little table is always in the door, isn't it, right, inside. So you go in and you make out you're going to go there, but you just have a look round, right? Because all the best bits are at the front door. Right? You just have it and they go, excuse me, at £40, oh no, I've seen enough, thank you. And off you go. Right?
Makes sense.
It does, doesn't it?
It does make sense.
You see, I've cracked it and also found a way that they can save the nation's heritage.
Don't keep your Botticelli on the 8th floor.
No,
exactly. What you're saying. Don't keep it there, if you've got an 8th floor, obviously.
And then put the rubbish at the top. Right? All the good stuff at the bottom, so that you can grab it quickly. Right? And right, have like mattresses outside the window and the valuable vases by the window. Right? So you can just open them up and sling them out, and they land on the mattress. I'll tell you what, I should be working for the National Trust. You better play a song.
You should. If that happened to me, which I hope it doesn't, these two guitars would be very near the door. I've got to say, they would be absolutely near the door.
See, public service broadcasting at its best, this is.
Fantastic. Do we need a little sound check? Can everyone hear that?
Yeah.
Lovely. This is another song.
Hang on, it would be if I turned your microphone up, just turn your microphone down.
Oh, hello. I won't take it personally. Shall I go? This is another song off my Rivers and Rain album. This is called You Make Me Feel Free. Some days her eyes were just like Monday. Some days she shone like late September sun. Some nights she danced like no one else was watching, with a bottle for a gun. We went down to the river where the long grass grew. She said, I don't know what I'm doing here. I can't love a man like you. You see, your hair is like a punchline, and you drive just like a girl. But we went back to that river, put some color in the world. And in the morning as the sun came up, we watched it rising through the trees. I touched her face, I said, you made me feel young. And she said, you made me feel free. Well, a seaside town in winter, there's no place to meet a friend. There's no place to write a love song, but it's a place for love to end. And we sat and drank our coffee, just like we done before. And the waves beat out their rhythm on the cold December shore. She said our love was like a movie, one that started near the end. We drove away, we tried to shut it down, and it started up again. But in the morning as the rain came down, we watched it falling on the sea. I touched her face, I said, you made me feel young. And she said, you made me feel free. Threw out all the photos, and I locked up all the keys. Empty coffee cups for bleeding hearts and artists, on empty days like these. But in the morning as the sun came up, we watched it rising through the trees. I touched her face, I said, you made me feel young. And she said, you made me feel free. You made me feel free.
Was that called You Make Me Feel Free?
Do you know what it was?
Yeah.
Did you get it?
Yeah. That was good, that was.
Thank you very much.
Did you introduce it? I don't remember you introducing it, but if you did, I'm real pleased with myself that I remembered what it was called.
That was tremendous. Yeah, it's also off the CD.
Is it
Tell
really?
me if I'm talking about the CD too much.
No. Let's give it a bit of a plug.
Oh, love it.
So
Thank you
we'll
so
get
much.
that up there. There you are. You can get your copy of, well, it all comes out in reverse, I think, there. So it's called Rivers and Rain by Keith Bayley. As we say, you can get that on iTunes and YouTube and
Spotify, all that sort of stuff.
Spotify,
that's
Spotify,
yeah. iTunes and Spotify.
Yeah, that's the type of thing, like the Scooby-Doo channel. Right?
Yeah, that's one.
But once again, we're having problems with the sound of the guitar. So what we'll do is we'll get that mic down a little bit further and see if we could sort this out. Because you sing louder than you play. You see?
Oh, okay.
You're bang. So being non-technical, as I am, we will get this right before we finish.
Can't wait.
Well, it'll be all right when we edit it and it goes out. The Weather Committee, they came in to see me many, many years ago. And I was looking through some CDs today and I came across an old EP by them. And this was actually recorded in 2008. So 9 years ago now, which is a long time, especially if you're only 11 years old. That's more than your life 5 times. Yeah, about that. Really, yeah. And this is a track by the Weather Committee, because I thought it's a shame that when these bands finish, you never hear of them again. And they've made some tremendous music. So this is the Weather Committee and All the Steps.
And Strummer, isn't it? As the lights go down on Gallowglass Eve, there's a pain in my heart, but I have to believe. Is that it?
The Weather Committee, who I don't think are anymore, because this, it says here, myspace.com/the Weather Committee, which I don't know, does MySpace still going? You see, that was another great thing. I loved MySpace. I used to go on there and find all sorts of genres of music and discover new bands and everything. And then they changed the format and it just went out the window. Right? Why couldn't they just leave it as it was? But still, never mind. I'm going to get off my soapbox, right? Which is quite amusing, actually, because I normally have to get on a soapbox to be seen. Right? And after the news, we are going to be playing... oh, I've left it off my playlist. Good job, it came up there. It's Can. the 1970s and 60s and 70s band Can are going to be bringing out an album. Anyway, we'll talk about it, but the track is called Turtles Have Short Legs. Right, so I'm not the only one. Anyway, my guest, Keith Bayley, is going to play us another song, and we've moved his microphone nearer. We are going to get to the bottom of this problem, and we are going to crack it. So, what's the next song you're going to do
We've
for
had a
us?
full technical overhaul, haven't we?
Yes.
In the last 2 minutes. We've had a full sound check between us. This is a song called Gallow Glass Eve. I was absolutely thrilled to play this at one winter's night with the wonderful Gavin Thomas on harmonica. If you find it on Spotify, you'll hear Gavin's harmonica. This is just me, I'm afraid to say. It's called Gallow Glass Eve. I stood in the rain, I opened my veins just for you. I drove through the night, running red lights like you do. Watching the clock, wondering if you're gonna show. I lived through your past, crawled across glass till it hurt. You murdered my sleep, buried it deep in the dirt. Watching the clock, wondering if you're gonna show. Knowing it's all about whether he stays or he goes. As the lights go down on Gallow Glass Eve, there's a pain in my heart, but I have to believe there's a place in this world for a boy and a girl and their dreams. As the lights go down on Gallow Glass Eve, I'm getting my coat and I'm taking my leave. There's a story I heard about a boy and a girl and their dreams. Just not together. Did you want me to be something I couldn't see, but I tried? Breaking it gently, you drink till you're empty inside. Watching the sky, waiting for black to turn blue. Watching your eyes, wondering just what I should do. As the lights go down on Gallow Glass Eve, there's a pain in my heart, but I have to believe there's a place in this world for a boy and a girl and their dreams. As the lights go down on Gallow Glass Eve, well, I'm getting my coat, I'm taking my leave. There's a story I heard about a boy and a girl and their dreams. Just not together. As the lights go down on Gallow Glass Eve, there's a pain in my heart, but I have to believe there's a place in this world for a boy and a girl and their dreams. As the lights go down on Gallow Glass Eve, well, I'm getting my coat and I'm taking my leave. There's a story I heard about a boy and a girl and their dreams. Just not together. Just not together. just not together.
Fantastic. That's Keith Bayley and Gallo Shield.
Gallo Glass Eve.
Gallo Glass Eve.
Gallo Glass Eve. Close enough.
Yeah, I had the Gallo right, didn't I? Wasn't too far out. Anyway, don't forget, if you're in Woking on Saturday afternoon, pop along to the old bandstand between 1 and 3 and give Luke Mason some support there. He's raising money for Woking Hospice. And after you've done that, pop over to the Holroyd Arms in Guildford, because they have a charity fun day starting around about 1, 2 o'clock, something like that. And fun for the whole family during the day. Then in the evening, they have 2 fantastic bands on, the Shalalars and Trojan Beats. Mabs will be over there from our reggae show. He'll be DJing, and I will be DJing as well. Very, very rare for me to get a chance to DJ live, but I'll be there playing in between the 2 bands. So hopefully see you there on Friday night. We'll have to say goodbye to our viewers in Facebook. And those of you who have just tuned in, you will have to wait now until I repost it and you can watch it again.
ICS is the best thing I ever did.
It's a life-changing experience.
ICS gave me a chance to make a